Welcome to Tried and True Crime. In this video, we will be delving into the most tragic love story you have ever heard. This is a story of a heartbreaking tragedy that rocked the foundation of humanity. A tormented soul consumed by obsession and bitterness unleashed horror upon his former lover. In the chilly confines of the Dockside Outlet in Chatham, Joshua Stimpson's cruelty knew no bounds as he mercilessly ended the life of the beloved Molly McLaren. Her vibrant spirit was snuffed out by Joshua, who was deemed wicked and cowardly by the eyes of justice. Heavy wounds were inflicted, not only on her fragile body, but also on the souls of those who loved her. Stimpson's brutality carved deeply into the hearts of all who witnessed this senseless act of brutality. After proving guilty of killing Molly McLaren, Joshua Stimpson was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 26 years and was told he might never be freed. On that dreadful morning of June 2nd, 2018, she died on site even though she had received rapid medical assistance. 26-year-old Joshua Stimpson of High Street, Oldham, admitted manslaughter with the explanation of reduced culpability, but vehemently disputed the murder accusation. After less than 4 hours of discussion, the 8 men and 4 women on the jury unanimously found Stimpson guilty of murder. Hearing the verdict, Molly's bereaved mother Jo and her group of friends broke down in tears and let out yelps of relief and pain. Molly's grieving family issued a heartfelt statement following the trial, conveying their intense anguish over their loss and their steadfast resolve to raise awareness of the dangers of stalking. Judge Adele Williams chastised Stimpson mercilessly, calling his acts cowardly and harsh, but he remained impassive the entire time, his eyes set front. Judge Williams delivered a somber denunciation of Stimpson's actions, emphasizing his horrific act of taking Molly's life so brutally because she had chosen to stop their relationship only a few days before the fatal meeting. The horrifying details of Joshua Stimpson's unrelenting attack on Molly were revealed in the terrifying chambers of Maidstone Crown Court, which created a graphic picture of unspeakable cruelty. An eyewitness who was inspired by bravery and desperation, Benjamin Morton, saw the horrific scene and tried to step in, but he was unable to stop Stimpson's furious attack. Stimpson's unrelenting brutality continued despite his heroic attempts to put an end to the rampage, leaving a path of destruction in its wake. When the situation went into disarray, Stimpson, dressed in the blood of his crimes, did not back down until the police showed up and quickly captured him in the eerie aftermath of his aggression. Prosecutor Philip Bennett's Q.C. exposed the brutal reality of Stimpson's culpability, dismissing any idea of lesser responsibility with unyielding conviction. Amidst divergent accounts from mental health specialists, the courtroom transformed into a battlefield of clashing viewpoints regarding Stimpson's psychological condition. Dr. Philip Joseph, the prosecution's expert, denied that Stimpson had a recognized medical illness. On the other hand, Dr. Shahid Majid provided insights into the mind of the defendant by emphasizing the existence of an abnormality of functioning, resulting from a diagnosed mental ailment. The weight of Stimpson's acts resonated through everyone's hearts, putting a pall over the pursuit of justice, and the courtroom turned into a furnace of emotion. In the midst of contradictory assessments and broken lives, the search for the truth became entangled. This is how it all started. In July 2016, Stimpson's and Molly's paths crossed on Tinder, a digital dating platform, and Molly, an outstanding second-year student at Kent University's Medway campus, found herself intertwined in the delicate dance of romance. From that first meeting, they had in-person meetups and eventually started a relationship in November of the following year. Nevertheless, as time passed and the seasons shifted, Molly reluctantly decided to break up with him, and in March of the subsequent year, she plucked up the courage to say goodbye. Still, the entanglements of their bond held firm, dragging them back together for a little while until the fateful day of June 17th. This was in spite of her courageous determination. Molly expressed her thoughts with a heavy heart. her last goodbye. Stimpson caused a wave of furious bitterness to go through him. In a terrible turn of events, Stimpson's vengeful hatred turned the social media sanctuary, meant for connection and camaraderie, into a battlefield, damaging the reputation of the woman he had once claimed to love. With the days growing shorter and the obsession's shadows drawing nearer, Stimpson's evil plans became crystal clear. Molly had no idea that the man she had once loved was following her everywhere. He even purchased a knife at a supermarket that would end her life. An innocent kitchen tool, transformed into a destructive weapon in Stimpson's once tender hand. He started working out at Nuffield Gym in Medway Valley Park, Rochester, on June 27th, the same day Molly resumed working out at the gym. Stimpson killed Molly after purchasing a sub-8-year paring knife at Asda in Chatham, where he was seen on security cameras. Later on, it was discovered on her car's driver's seat. In addition, he purchased a Saxon pickaxe from Chatham's home base, which was found in his automobile following the murder. On the morning of June 29th, McLaren parked close to the gym when she arrived. When Stimpson walked in, she was working out. "Are you following me now?" she inquired. At 10:45 a.m., she texted her mother, "Mom, he showed up at the gym and came next to me." Additionally, she called her mother, who advised her to head straight home. Molly used WhatsApp to connect with friends. She posted, "I feel like I'm always looking over my shoulder." At 11:02 a.m. McLaren went with her mother, Jonah, to the North Kent police station after telling friends over social media that she was afraid of her ex-partner. Stimpson was contacted by police 2 days before he killed McLaren, and this time the officer urged him to halt stalking or risk prosecution. Witness Cody Jarvis noticed Molly sitting in the driver's seat when Stimpson pulled up, got out of his car, and started walking toward her. Molly was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. He wrenched open the door, Prosecutor Bennett's recalled gravely. Molly's cries rang out, an imploring cry for help. Although a brave man attempted to step in, Stimpson's assault remained severe. Benjamin Morton, another witness who bravely resisted the onslaught, described the tragedy as follows. As if driven insane, the man repeatedly stabbed the female in the neck and head. It was a furious whirl of violence that was unrelenting. The gallant spectator could not hold Stimpson back. Benjamin Morton tried to pull Stimpson's leg, but he couldn't grip it because his leg was slick with Molly's blood. The attacker finally gave up and got out of the car, pacing nervously as the sound of his horrible acts echoed through the silence. When police authorities arrived, his intimidation campaign came to an end, but it was too late for Molly. At 11:43 a.m., the harsh hand of fate extinguished her light, despite the frantic attempts of police, paramedics, and a doctor. When interrogated by a mental health specialist after his apprehension, Stimpson provided a terrifying glimpse into the depths of his mind. "I didn't act on them. Maybe yesterday," he admitted. His statements lingered in the atmosphere, serving as a chilling reminder of his extreme wickedness and the priceless life he so senselessly took. "I must have, or I wouldn't have done this," he said in response to a query about his internal conflict. According to Mr. Bennett's, Stimpson claimed to be bipolar, but the prosecution's psychiatrist questioned this assertion. When Stimpson found out that Molly had blocked him on Facebook, his spiral into darkness became even more apparent. This led to a troubling conversation with a buddy who casually made jokes about stalking. Molly confided in a friend in a desperate attempt to get assistance, citing her dread of possible harm. "I'm afraid he could hurt me. I have no idea how tense he is." She bemoaned Stimpson's cunning actions, saying, "He's become extremely nasty. He's completely lost the plot, really." Judge Williams issued a harsh indictment that exposed the premeditated savagery of Stimpson's actions in front of an overflowing courtroom. She said, echoing through the still gallery, "You trailed her to the gym that morning. You waited for her in the parking lot, confining her inside her vehicle before you attacked her with ferocity. Your intention was very clear: to take her life in retaliation for her daring to break up with you. You carefully planned her death out of spiteful narcissism and a callous contempt for her humanity. Judge Williams's remarks sliced through the courtroom, depicting how Stimpson's planned savagery destroyed Molly's vivid existence. Molly was an attractive and intelligent 23-year-old with limitless potential. She was also an adored daughter, friend, and community member. But Stimpson ruthlessly stole from her a loving and promising future. The harrowing emptiness that her murder has left behind is evidence of the irreversible loss experienced by those who loved her. Judge William continued, "Your complete lack of regret highlights your self-centeredness and disrespect for human life. Your past of manipulation and stalking just serves to highlight how dangerous you are to society." Judge Williams's decision, which called for 26 years in prison as a meager sort of justice for the unimaginable suffering Molly's loved ones had to endure, reflected the seriousness of the crime. Detective Sergeant Ailey Wharton's words ring with grave reality in the wake of this tragedy. Molly's life was taken from her in the most brutal way conceivable. A light of hope is provided by the bravery of those who battled to save her, the decency of her family in the face of unimaginable grief, and the relentless efforts of law enforcement. The Crown Prosecution Service rightly notes that Molly's bereaved family members might find some measure of comfort in Stimpson's conviction. However, no decision can completely restore the broken hearts or take away the sorrow of her absence. May Molly's memories live on as an inspiration of love and tenacity, serving as a constant reminder of how valuable all of our lives are. Thank you for joining us through this dark and chilling tale. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, stay safe.